All right, we're trying it again. First time you cut off on me. Hi, ladies. How are you? This is Cherie. How are you? Sales strategist and marketing muse for ambitious introverts. And today I'm going to talk to you about something that's very, very important. And it's based off some conversations that I've had over the last week about setting boundaries in your business. And I'm sure most of us can relate to having not so pleasant clients either in our current business or in our corporate experience or in other businesses. And it really is a play between wanting to give the best customer service and also realizing that, sometimes this is just not going to work. And reason why I'm doing this is because I was having a conversation last week with another entrepreneur, and she had a client that just used abusive language, made her feel bad about her price, and just really was just tap dancing all over her limiting beliefs to where she gave in. And I asked her, I said, well, what expectations did you set in the beginning? Like, what boundaries did you have? And she did not. And so that gave this client, in a way, in his mind, permission to act the way he did. And so the reason why I'm coming to you all today is because I want to help you minimize that happening to you. You can't always prevent it, but it was a good way to have certain measures and some certain things in place to prevent that. And so the first thing is just having a mindset, develop a mindset that, you know what, I'm not going to accept this. Having a mindset that says, okay, I will turn someone away. I will terminate service to someone if they do not follow the expectations that I've set forth. And so you have permission to tell someone, look, I'm not going to take this or accept this. And you have to know that in your mind that it is okay. Because if you allow them to go and tap dance on those limiting beliefs, they will do that and it will eat you alive. And so give yourself that permission. Have that mindset that says that you will not tolerate this. The second thing is vet your potential clients. The discovery call is not just for them to learn about you, it's also for you to learn about them. Learn about their level of commitment. Learn about what type of client they will be. Are they a go-getter? What is their sense of urgency? Those type of things. What else do I have here? Because I have my little notes here. How bad do they want results? Because that's really what's going to determine the kind of relationship you're going to have for either 6 weeks or 12 weeks or however long your program is. And so you want to be able to get that information and kind of really, really be very observant of that person and kind of ask those questions when you get to the point where you're going to start working together. One thing I always do is set those expectations at the very, very beginning. And so for me, this is in my welcome packet, it's in my contract, and I go over it on my initial 90-minute intensive, because it's so important to have that expectation of showing up, doing the work, making sure that we know how to handle any differences of opinion and whatnot. All those sticky areas that you can think of, talk about it, because you have 3 months, 6 weeks to deal with someone and work with someone and help transform them in their business. You want to be able to have that candid conversation with them and let them know, this is what I expect from you and this is what you should expect from me in turns. And I do that. That's written in black and white, and that makes it so much easier, as you move along in your program. And the last thing is just make sure that you explain the consequences. Hopefully you won't have to do this, and unfortunately some people have had to do that. I haven't, but explain to them what will happen if, let's say you have a missed payment, or you missed your appointment, or if you're making excuses and you're playing the blame game over and over again, and so much time has passed where you should have gotten to a certain point by now. Then at that point, you need to start saying, okay, excuse me. At that point, you need to start having that kind of conversation with the client, saying, look, we've gotten past this point. We've gotten here. Now you're blaming me, or now you're blaming something else or someone else. These are the consequences that were lined out in black and white. Fall back on that contract, fall back on your welcome packet or your initial session where you oriented that client and say, look, this is what's happening. This is where we're going. And that way they know. They can't say they don't know, because they signed off on it in the beginning, and you're just simply reminding them at that point. And so those are 4 things that can definitely help you set boundaries in your business, to help you set those expectations with clients, and so that you're not finding yourself like, oh my gosh, I cannot wait for these 12 weeks to be over. You have those boundaries set of what you will accept, what you won't accept, and what they can expect from you and what you can expect from them, and it's understood and signed off on in the very beginning. So that's first having a mindset, giving yourself permission to not tolerate any type of behavior or any type of, I guess, behavior or practice from them that goes against what you're trying to do for them. Also, vet them out really well in the very beginning. Ask those questions. Have you worked with someone before? Have you quit programs before? Have you, do you tend to quit things, or do you stay the course? Ask those questions. Ask all those hot button questions at that time, and really listen to how they respond to that. Also, set those expectations in the very beginning. Have them sign off on it. That in itself is a huge mindset, because you're saying, I am committed to do this and to do that in the beginning. And remind them in your first orientation session. And also explain the consequences of, look, I hope this doesn't happen, but this is what can happen. Let's not focus on that, but this is what, I tolerate. This is what I don't tolerate. And you can do this in a very casual way. It doesn't have to be very uncomfortable. And hopefully you never have to have this conversation, but have it spelled out in your contract and just simply review it at your 90-minute or whatever your first initial session with that person is, just to make sure that you're on the same side and that you both have understanding of what the expectations are for your program. And so I'm saying this because I'm sure many of you already have this, but you'd be surprised how many people do not have these practices in place, and they find themselves in nightmare situations where they don't know how to get out of it. Well, the good thing is that if you set it in the very beginning, you don't have to worry about that in the end, because it's in black and white and it's signed off and agreed upon. So that's my tip today, guys, to set boundaries. Take care of yourself first. Give the best customer service, but don't forget you as well. All right, ladies, I hope you have a great day. And if I don't get a chance to live stream before Thursday, have a happy Thanksgiving. All right.